Hey everybody, Peter Green with Agile for All, coming to you with your daily dose of Agile. Today's Wednesday, and on Wednesday we go back to the basics of Agile. And today I want to address a question that I get in a lot of classes and with a lot of engagements that I do with private clients. And that question is, what advice would you give to a new Scrum Master? So I think this is a great question. It's a hard question to answer because it really depends on the context. But when I think about what great Scrum Masters kind of leave in their wake, when they leave a team, when they leave an organization, what do the great Scrum Masters leave behind? What I see is that they leave behind teams that work well together. They're more motivated, they're more engaged, and they leave behind an improved system, a system that has more flow, there's less friction, there are fewer impediments. Things just seem to work better than when they got there. And so if I think of those two things as like the common results of a good Scrum Master having worked there, then I think I would boil down my advice to maybe 3 or 4 points. So first of all, being a Scrum Master is a mix of focusing on kind of system tools, things that are visible, things that, you know, how the world works, and having empathy for human beings. So there's like a people side to it and there's a system side to it. And so I would start on the human side of it. And what I would do as a Scrum Master is I would start listening, and I would listen deeply, and I would try to be present in lots of conversations where my team is and where the stakeholders are. And what I'm really looking for is points of frustration, things that I can really empathize with. And number one, just being listened to for a lot of teams and a lot of team members is a new experience where we never feel listened to. We always feel like there's not enough airtime. It's hard to get our point across. And so a great Scrum Master that will just listen and kind of witness the frustrations that people are experiencing in their job will already make an impact, a positive impact on that team. And the other great thing about that is that as you listen, you'll start to hear themes. You'll start to hear different parts of the system describing the same thing. And that starts to give you an idea of what to go after as far as removing impediments. That's the next thing, is that the Scrum Master needs to be relentless in trying to make things better. When I first got this job, I loved it because honestly, I'm kind of lazy and I hate bureaucracy and red tape. So for me, a Scrum Master was the perfect job because I didn't want anything to be harder than it needed to be for me or my team. And so I was just going after anything that fit into any of those categories. So relentlessly making things better and easier for the team would be my second piece of advice. In order to do that, you're going to have to always be learning. There are so many different approaches, tools, techniques, practices that are helpful for Scrum Masters that there's no such thing as the book. There are dozens and dozens of books. It seems like every year I read 3 or 4 books where I say, oh, I wish I knew this when I was a Scrum Master, when I was just getting going. And so always be learning, be another piece of advice. And then manage yourself, meaning your ego will get in the way if you let it. If you make the job about you, that will prevent you from making the type of improvements that your team needs and really that are the rewarding improvements that you can make as a Scrum Master. So those would be my pieces of advice, is to listen deeply, to find the frustration and the themes in that and relentlessly go after those system impediments and improve them. Always be learning, out there reading, studying, going to conferences, see what other people are up to. And then finally, managing yourself. Don't let your ego get in the way. Hopefully this has been useful to you, all you new Scrum Masters out there. My hat's off to you. It's a great job. It's a hard job. Feel free to reach out if you're struggling with that. I'm happy to chat, see if there's anything I can do to help with that new role. If this video has been helpful to you, love it if you would like the video, share it with your friends. Encourage you to subscribe to our channel if this type of content is something that's interesting to you. And hope to hear from you soon. Thanks, everybody.